What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new edition of Touchdown Texas. I'm your host, Shiva Patel, and my co host here, Nick Rodriguez. We're coming off a Longhorns win 27-10 against UTEP. A lot of takeaways from the game, a lot of reaction that we definitely want to have, but the Longhorns did get the win. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm good, man. It's been a couple weeks since we've jumped on, but excited to be back in the swing of things to talk a little Texas football and talk about how we're doing this year.
Definitely. Yep. Thank you, everybody, for their patience. I was out of the country for about a week and a half, so that's why we haven't been able to get on. But we're going to be going continuous now throughout the season, all the way up until January, hopefully, for the Longhorns. But
Mm-hmm.
before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our social media channels at touchdown_Texas. And be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And a lot to talk about, Nick, after the last UTEP game. Texas
Yeah.
struggled, but they did win 27-10. Let's start about talk about QB1 for Arch Manning. He did struggle in the game, 11 of 25, 114 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Before I ask you for a grade, talk about his performance on Saturday and even against San Jose State.
Yeah, like just to include San Jose State, because we haven't, been here in a couple weeks. It's not great. It's not. I mean, you talk about the game against Ohio State. It doesn't look great there either. Starts to come on towards the end, and you go, you know what? That's probably the best defense we'll play for a long time, at least until Georgia at the minimum. So you can hang your hat on that. That it was just an ugly day, but first row start at Ohio State. But the last 2 weeks have been worse. It's been mediocre. The timing isn't right. I've jumped on a few lives for the San Jose State game, and even though we blew them out and we won by a good number, it's not as good as it looks, really, because the defense set us up for a lot of those plays. The first touchdown play, he throws to Parker Livingstone. He only threw it like 10 yards, and Parker Livingstone did the rest. So it's not like he threw it 80 yards on an 80-yard touchdown. He threw it 10, and he did the rest. I know there's a lot to say here. UTEP is the same problem. Who we played last week. It's not that it's a small team that we should win. It's not because they're a small team. They're not like a South Florida where they're chippy and they're really good. Texas was favored by 40 points. And against San Jose State, we were favored by, I believe, 31 and a half, like in that range. That one we didn't cover, but we got damn close. So that one's okay. But 40 and we win by 17? I mean, barely. Like, the offense can't get it going. 200-something yards rushing. The receiving doesn't look great. He just looks completely out of time, out of rhythm, lack of confidence. Because I'm still going to go back and say, yes, I do think he has talent. Yes, I still think he can do it. He's just not doing what we need him to do right now. Over the last 2 weeks, really 3 weeks, really the whole season.
Definitely, yeah. There's no way around it. Me and Nick are real with our analysis, how we see it. We love the
Right.
ceiling of Arch Manning. He just not performing at this moment. And we're going to talk about the offense as a whole in a few minutes, but this is just we want to just talk about Arch Manning. He's struggling with accuracy. When he's in the pocket, it's some of those same issues that Quinn Ewers had, where he looked like he was seeing ghosts and there was pressure there when there really wasn't. And he's just not setting his feet. He's rushing throws. His
Mm-hmm.
timing with the receivers is off. He's not. Also, his strength was the deep ball, but even the deep ball passes. Besides that long pass to Parker Livingstone in the Ohio State game, his deep ball passing has not been good at all. Overshooting wide receivers.
Yeah.
At times, it's hard to blame him a little bit because he has a little bit of a young offensive line. But they're actually been the last. I've actually been kind of impressed with the offensive line, how they've been blocking.
Yeah.
I don't think he truly trusts the offensive line yet. So and there's times in videos of the San Jose State game and the game, Parker Livingstone is streaking down the middle of the field wide open, and I don't know why Arch doesn't just fire it away and throw it to him. And instead, he's running around all over the field, and he just throws an interception, ill-advised interception.
Yeah.
I do not think he's hurt. That is some conspiracy theory that
No.
some Longhorns fans are trying to cling to after he was shown wincing after some of the throws against San Jose State. I don't think he's hurt. He said he's not hurt. He's 100%. It's just that he needs to get his confidence. I think right now
Yes.
it's
Yes.
in his head right now, and he's putting so much pressure on himself. You could see after the UTEP game in his press conference, he was just like, he's so hard on himself, and Sark said he's so hard on himself. But
Yeah.
you can't be perfect playing the quarterback position. You're going to make mistakes. So Arch Manning needs to relax, take a deep breath, and
Yeah.
trust his reads. I don't think he's doing that good enough.
No.
He's even missing the easy swing passes. Like he had a running back
Everything.
wide open and he overthrew him 5 yards. That means you're in your head. But what I do like about Arch is he's still, with the QB design runs, that is his strong suit. And Sark did a good job of going to that because that's where he excels the most. And hopefully, he can continue to build and gain confidence with that. Sark said he had a good practice yesterday for whatever that's worth. We need to see him do it in the game. So, Nick, before we move to the offense going forward, what do you need to see from Arch Manning to get out of this rut?
I think it's just like you said, like consistency on the small things, right? I mean, I totally agree with what you said. You said it well. No, I don't think he's a bust. I'm not going that far. He hasn't played great. I mean that there's nothing to that. Nothing more to say than that. He hasn't played well. We know that, but there's been too many examples in high school. There's been too many coaches that said how talented he is and what he did even last year. We're like, he obviously has talent. He's obviously capable. We've seen it. It's just barely come out. I think it's a lack of confidence right now. I think he's extremely hard on himself. He needs to chill out. The fan base needs to chill out, us included, because it's kind of driving us crazy. Because, like I was hopping on some of the lives, and that's something that we will do more. I was at the Tech game, so I wasn't able to do it this past game, but pregame, halftime, and postgame, been on there more, and I've been saying like his feet aren't set, like you were saying, and that's what we want to see against Sam Houston. We know we're going to win the game, right? We know we're going to beat Sam Houston. We got Florida coming up in a few weeks, and they don't look as strong as once was. But even I think that game will get him going. Like, okay, I'm not playing this small school. I'm playing an SEC school. It's going to be at night. It's going to be on the road. It'll probably be on ABC. Calm down. Hit what you can, and we're going to win. That's how good of a team we are without him. Don't bench him because I don't think that would make it worse. It's like benching a kicker. Like, it just make it worse. I think you just try to make things as easy as possible for him. I don't know. I think other guys need to help step up and make plays as well. The defense has done as much as they can, but I think he is pressing. I think that when he's wincing and he's making those faces, I think it's because he's pressing so much. He's had a really difficult time hitting Ryan Wingo. They have not been able to get it going the way we thought they would this early on in the year, and especially with how well Parker Livingstone has been going. But this is the worst. Hopefully it's going to be. Hopefully it gets better. But right now it's been pretty bad. The only good thing that you could say is it can't get worse. Really.
Yeah.
And we don't have any bad losses. We lost once to Ohio State, but we do need to start. We are now at the time where we need to start turning it around pretty soon, because even though Florida is not the same as we thought they were, they played LSU damn close the other night, and with Lagway threw 5 picks, they might win that game. So they're not gonna just back down at home against us. So we're gonna have to step it up pretty soon, and hopefully we can use Sam Houston as another one. Maybe is that it? Like, just because there's a smaller opponent and we feel like we should be up by like 50 and not just win the game. I don't know, but just do the basics. Like, just go back to you being you, I think is what he needs to do.
Yes, he needs to, continue to be comfortable in his own skin. He needs to trust his offensive line a little bit more, stand in the pocket a little bit, go through your reads. Sark needs to also, I don't want to absolve Sark as well. We love Sark as a play caller, but at times the coach is not helping out the quarterback, and the quarterback is not helping out the coach, vice versa. It's a two-way street. Sark needs to call easy stuff for him, whether it's running the ball, short passes, and not be so hell bent on going to the deep passes, which he's starting to do a much better job calling the game as well. So we'll see. We're running out of time to fix this. We have this week San Jose State, San Houston State. We have a bye week, luckily, before Florida. So we really only have 2 weeks to fix this before we have to play in Gainesville. And Florida is going to be playing for their life because most likely they're going to lose this weekend to Miami. Mm-hmm. And Napier is going to be back on the hot seat, or maybe he may even be canned. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. But let's get to the offense in general. So I have some thoughts about the offense before I get it back to you, I'll give you some of my thoughts, Nick, about the offense. So I think, with Arch Manning is not finding his primary target, Ryan Wingo. He missed them 3 times early in the game. They did end with a touchdown pass, which hopefully they can get some confidence going. It's just that Arch Manning needs to trust his weapons a lot more and find his weapons a lot more. And I think his wide receivers also do need to help him out, but the offense was pitiful. Two times they got stopped on 4th down in the first quarter against UTEP, which is, you do not expect that or want that to happen at all. And they were just up and down the entire day against UTEP. And even when they made a big play, I noticed there was not a lot of celebration. It was just a lot of relief. The players are just playing with so much pressure. They're like, we finally got
a first down. Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't even a big play. It was just a first down. They're like, thank God we got a first down. The running game has been atrocious since the Ohio State game. Mm-hmm. I saw a stat from our own CJ Vogel, who came on the show earlier this season. Texas has not had a 20-plus yard run since Jared Gibson did round 1 of the playoffs last year against Clemson. Texas has not had a 20-yard run since Clemson of last year. They only have one 15-yard run. That was a C.J. Baxter run against San Jose State. That's it. The running game has been they've been horrible. And what are your thoughts, Nick, about the offense in general? Because it's not all on Arch Manning.
No, it's not, and that makes it worse. So, rewind to the preseason when we're talking about, this might be the worst that we look all season. Even said that a few weeks ago after the Ohio State game, and we're going to get better. All those things can be true. We just didn't take into account how sloppy it would be. I agree about the offensive line. I think that's actually been pretty solid. I thought they blocked pretty well against Ohio State, considering everything, and considering, not to keep harping on this game, but there were so many opportunities to still win that game, even with how poorly he played. So honestly, I'm really happy with, obviously, Parker Livingstone. He's been awesome. I still think we need to get Jack Andrews the ball so much because, to me, and again, we talked about safety blankets and how much he needs to get the ball. He is such a reliable weapon. They needed to give him the ball so much against San Jose State and Parker Livingstone and force feed those guys. To answer about the running game specifically, we seem really banged up as well because CJ Baxter's been out for a game. Trey Wisner's been out. He had the chains on against San Jose State. So is that it? Maybe. But against inferior opponents like Sam Houston, like UTEP, with the talent that we have on the offensive side of the ball, we should definitely be able to punch out more rushing yards. And with the guy that can actually run. This is not like with Quinn Ewers, who, post-injury Quinn Ewers could certainly do that. He had a big run against A&M. He can run a little bit. But Arch is an athlete. Arch can run. Sark was using Arch for running. So the fact that we can't able to do that now, I don't know where to stand with that. And I think it's very odd. Wingo, I'm not really disappointed in. I feel like it's more of an Arch just missing him kind of thing. But what frustrates me is as soon as he hits him, he drops it, right? So they're totally not on the same page there. It's been like a C- performance overall. I'm kind of giving him a little bit of a curve just because I have been impressed with the offensive line play, and I was impressed with our running backs when we played against Ohio State. Like Baxter and Wisner popped to me, and that was like, was like, okay, like this is a good sign. Like we'll come around, but we got to get injuries the ball more. He's got to be more of a priority. He's got to be a wide receiver 2 almost. Like Livingstone, injuries, Wingo, give him the ball as much as we can. And overall, it's been disappointing though. You don't like to see that when your coach is an offensive guru, and you have the talent that we do, but you're hoping this is the worst it is, and it doesn't get worse from here because it will in a hurry if it doesn't fix itself in the next couple weeks.
Definitely. And Sark did say we're very close to breaking through on the offense, and that sent Longhorns fans into frenzy because they're like, "Are you?"
I don't think so. Yeah.
Are you watching the same game as us, Sark? Like some of them are like thinking like, I don't agree with that as well. So you harped on the running game. I like that. Let me go to that point. CJ Baxter got hurt on the first play of the UTEP game, and Sark said his game plan was centered towards CJ Baxter. This is where I have a problem with Sark. So if one player goes down, that means your entire game plan is just ruined. Like
Yeah, what are we doing?
That did not make sense to me at all.
No.
We know Trey Wisner has been out. I wouldn't play him this week. I would rest him until Florida because you don't need Trey Wisner doesn't need to show anything. We need him 100% healthy because we don't know the status of CJ Baxter now. Christian Clark, the redshirt freshman, he had some good moments. But what about the true freshman, number 31 from Shreveport, Louisiana, James Simon? He had some good yards. He had like 60 yards running, 67 yards running. He is going to get the majority of carries against Sam Houston. Let's see how well he plays. I have some stats for you, Nick. So far on third down this year, Texas is 12 of 42, 28%. They're 5 of 16 on third down. It's not looking good at all. They're 3 of 10 on fourth downs. So it's a matter of the fact that most of those third downs are 3rd and 6 and higher. So they're not getting the necessary yards on first and second down to make it easier on third down. UTEP outgained the Longhorns on first down last game, which is a problem. You never want that to happen. We need to be more productive on first and second downs, and Arch Manning needs to get the ball to his playmakers. I like Livingstone. He did have one drop, but he looked really good. Endries, they didn't force feed him the ball against UTEP because they're saying he actually has an injury and he's not 100% either. Endries isn't, which is very concerning. We don't have DeAndre Moore. He's going to come back most likely against Florida. Emmett Mosley, the transfer that we got from Stanford, we've had zero information on him. We don't know what his deal is. We don't know if he's going to we don't even know if he's even going to be back this season or not because they kept a tight lip from him. And then the true freshman, Sark said that Khalil Lockett is close to being ready, but he's not ready yet. We saw some of Dalen McCutcheon, but it seems like Sark doesn't trust those 3 5-star true freshmen yet to come in and play. So basically, all Arch is going to have to feed off of is Livingstone and Endries, and him and Wingo need to get it together, running extra routes. Yeah, I don't blame him on Wingo as much. I like it that they're giving him the ball. They've been giving him the ball in those end arounds a little bit, but you can tell.
Good.
But you can tell the defense knows it's coming.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, do it like an end around where it's an option for Arch to take it, or even run the option a little. Like, do some sort of thing where it's him, Wisner, and Wingo. Just do some for short yardage, or just once, and then when you do it in the second half, then maybe you do an RPO, and now you're ripping off a pass. I just think I don't know. I feel like the training wheels are on, and then they're not, and then they're back on. Like take off the wheels. Let him. Like I think maybe that's what it is. It's just like let rip him. Let him throw 3 picks and 300 touchdowns or 300 yards. Like let him mess up because I feel like we're trying to make him be perfect so much. And you're right. The way you broke it down, he has been a little bit more on his own with the team, but there's still a giant talent gap between Texas and UTEP where we should not win by 17. And this is no discredit to UTEP. We've played UTSA close, but that was a really good UTSA team.
Remember Wyoming a couple years ago?
That was a good team. That team won 9 games. Yeah. So UTEP is not at the same level of program as those were at that time. So I don't know if it's like I still got faith that we'll turn around. I still got faith that we fix it. It doesn't like if someone goes, ooh, who is going to be in the SEC championship game? Give me like 4 or 5 teams that you feel confident in betting on just being there. I'm not putting Texas in there right now. I can't. Um, I'm putting Georgia in there. I still put Tennessee in that conversation. I'm not putting Alabama. I'm putting LSU in that conversation, right? So maybe we are at the back end of that conversation, but defensively we are. But that offense, I mean, I don't expect a 40-7 showing against Sam Houston. I don't think that would quell everyone's worries, but it certainly would help. I just think we could win 27-10, but if the offense is like this and we're scoring and then we get them out of the second quarter, I think everyone would feel fine. It's just that it's 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt. They get the other team gets the ball, throws an interception. We're on the 20. We go up 7-0. It's not really the offense; it's the defense that puts us in all these plus situations. And I think we can do that, even against the Georgia, even against the Florida, even against an LSU if we were to play them. But to win those games, you're going to have to create on the offensive side of the ball as well.
For sure. And there was some positives that I do want to talk about. Like I said, number 31, James Simon. He ran the ball very well. Parker Livingstone is still a positive. What about the punt return game? Niblet looked better.
Right, right.
We actually got positive yards on the punt return game. Just the offense needs to get it together. I think the offensive line, one move that I recommend making is we're starting Connor Stroh, left guard. He's the big guy, 6'7", mountain of a man, but he's just slow. Like he can't even get to the second block when they're pulling, like multiple times. I'm like, who are you blocking, Stroh? Like you're not blocking him. He's just standing there. I would move Cole Hudson, who's a center. I would move him to left guard because he played left guard as a freshman. And then I would move Connor Robertson to center and get out Stroh. And because I think Stroh is a weak link right now on our offense, but I think we're going to get it together. We're going to preview Sam Houston State at the end of this episode. So we'll give our predictions for that. But again, there were some positives, and let's see how the Longhorns go from here. Well, now let's talk about the biggest positive on the team, the defense. They were incredible. I want to give you a stat. This season, they've only allowed teams to convert 1 4th down on 7 attempts. They've been dominant. What grade would you give them in this game against UTEP?
I'm going to go B plus. Normally it would be an A, but I think again, you think about who we are playing, and it might sound harsh, but this is something that Texas should do, right? You should be ripping them to shreds. This is a warm-up game for the SEC schedule. So, yes, they played phenomenal. They forced 2 interceptions. They've been all over everybody. That 1 4th down that you mentioned was against Ohio State. So, I mean, they've been lethal. It's been hard to do anything against them. Even when teams start to drive the ball a little bit, teams haven't had that much success. And that's a huge part. Driving home, on Saturday, listening to the radio, they're talking about the score of the game, and it's Texas 7, UTEP 3. Just imagine what our team would look like if we didn't have maybe the best defense in the country. And it might be a shame if our team doesn't perform the way we should 2 years in a row with the elite defenses that we've had. So I still think it's, an amazing team, an amazing defense that can take us very far. We're getting a lot of pressures, which causes a lot of turnovers. That helped us in the San Jose State game, where, they were moving the ball a little bit, but turnover got Arch going, got the team going, and we ended up winning by a lot. So that's certainly going to help us as we are in our little bit of a cold period on the offense. But again, they just shut down teams and don't really let you feel like you have any sort of a chance of winning that game.
So I'm going to give the defense A plus with 10 pluses this game. Maybe I'm grading him on a higher curve because the offense has been so pitiful and they've had to overcome more with the offense's deficiencies. But they got 2 takeaways against UTEP, 6 takeaways so far this season. They've been incredible. Anthony Hill flashed. This was the first game of the season where Anthony Hill actually flashed and had a good game. We're still waiting for Colin Simmons to make his mark. He almost had a sack in the end zone on Malachi Nelson, but Nelson got it out of his hands really quickly. Otherwise, that would have been Colin Simmons' first sack of the season. I just like the way that they're pressuring the quarterback. They're stopping the run. They're flying to the football, which is very impressive. The secondary has been amazing. Jelani McDonald with interception. Grayson Littleton, the true freshman, interception. Michael Taft making key open field tackles. I just like the relentlessness that this defense has been playing with, stopping teams on fourth down, getting off the field, like I said, causing turnovers for their offense. The defense is one of the best in the country, and there's something that we can lean on for sure. They do have a couple of weak spots. Jalen Gilbo is getting picked on a little bit, but they have enough of a rotation, enough depth where I don't think it's going to hurt us going forward. And I just love the aggressiveness, tenacity that they've been playing with. Shout out to the Ohio State transfer, Hero Canoe. He has been awesome this year. He's been a pleasant surprise. He has been all over the backfield. He had a sack, and I just liked our defensive line as well. Murad Watson from Syracuse, transfer from Syracuse. He has been getting a lot of TFLs and living in the backfield. Ethan Burke has had a really good start to the season as well as including Leona Lafau. So this defense is something that can hang their hat on, a constant for this Texas team, and defense is the identity of this Longhorns football team, and they're going to take the team far until the offense hopefully catches up. So Nick, what are your thoughts of going forward? Let's preview the Sam Houston State game. What are you looking for Texas to do, because this is an inferior opponent?
Yeah, it's another one. I was trying to find the line. I don't know if it's been set yet, but it's another one where I'm curious to see the line. We dropped in the AP poll from 7 to 8. How big is that line going to be? I think for me, like beyond the score, because even though a thought in my mind jumped in last week where I was like, are we going to lose this game to UTEP? We're only up by 4. But no, we're going to win against Sam Houston State. I think, and I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be positive. I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm trying to be realistic about how we performed offensively. A fast start. If we get the ball first, I don't even need us to score a touchdown or pass the 50, really. I'd be okay with the 6 and out, right? Like 3 plays, we got a first down, a couple more. Can't pick up the first down. Punt. Okay. Like, I need to see us do something right away and put them away right away. The defense, I have no notes for. Like you said, I mean, I'm probably grading them a little harsh just because, I don't know, I feel like we should be doing that, but maybe that's not the right approach. So I think they will get onto a fast start. That is something that we know we can hang our hats on. Just like with last season, we knew what Quinn Ewers was going to bring us. We knew what the receivers were going to bring us. That's the problem with having a younger team when they're not developing as the way you thought they would, because you don't really know them yet. Even in ours, we don't really know quite yet, or as well as we will next year. I have no problems with the defense. I know Colin Simmons is going to be Colin Simmons at some point. Anthony Hill is going to continue to continue to keep better and better this season. I just want to see the offense continue to just be aggressive, but pick your spots. And if it's 2nd and 1, like, I don't need you to throw it 40 yards incomplete. Then we throw it, then we run it up the middle on 3rd and 1 and get stuffed. And all of a sudden we're punting it. Let's not do that. Let's just try to move the ball with a little bit more consistency and try to score a little bit better.
Yeah, well said. I'm going to address your first point, starting fast. Let's not get stopped on 4th down. Let's please, if we get the ball first, go down, make a statement. Let's score a touchdown on the first offensive series of the game. Because I have some stats for you. This is per Rod Babers, who used to play for the Longhorns, and he's with OTF. Sam Houston State ranks 133rd in pass defense, 113th in pass efficiency, 131st in passing touchdowns allowed. They are the worst passing defense and worst defense in the country. So if we move the ball against these things, it's like a zero-sum game a little bit. But we have to show some life. I would like us to get more than 30 points against this team because they are putrid.
Yes.
The San Jose State defense is.
Yes.
On the offensive side of the ball, I would like Sark to completely change his game plan. With that being said, just run the ball because that has been something that we need to get established. You should be able to push and get pushed against the Sam Houston State. Bless you.
Thank you.
Run the ball and also have more design runs for Arch Manning. I know Sark said that we don't major in quarterback run and we don't want to go back to the Sam Ehlinger games of Bam Bam Sam, but run him. You ran him 7 times against UTEP, even in the fourth quarter. Use that element of offense because that's how you've been able to move the ball. Arch, he's not been comfortable in the RPOs and play action game. He's per Pro Football Focus. He's one of the worst at that, but he's better at drop back passes. That's been his strength so far, just straight drop backs. So get a game plan that utilizes the Arch strength, a run focused game plan, a short passes, but then get the ball in the hands of your playmakers via screen pass, wide receiver screens, just short routes, slants, curls, whatever you need to do. So that's what I want to see on offense. On defense, continue to get turnovers, force turnovers on Sam Houston State, get TFLs. I would like the sack numbers to get a little bit higher than they have been. And this is a game that Colin Simmons should be able to get 2 sacks in, maybe 1.5 to 2 sacks in, and just use this game as a launching pad as you get into Florida. And we should be able to get more than 30 points against Sam Houston State. This is a get-right game. This is the last game before Texas plays Florida and plays SEC opponents. Well, thank you so much for watching this episode of Touchdown Texas. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to follow us on our social media channels at touchdown_Texas. Something this year that we've been doing is TikTok Live. So, Nick, tell the people where to find us before the game.
Yeah, you can find us on Touchdown Texas. We've been a little bit out of town and our schedules have been a little bit different, but every game, pregame, halftime, and postgame, we're going to jump on a little bit, answer some questions, talk with the people a little bit about it. Though that's our guarantee is at least 3 times a game. We're going to try to be consistent with that. Again, we've been kind of traveling and stuff, but you never know. Just follow us because we might pop on for a Thursday night game that gets interesting, or Miami, Florida gets interesting. We might pop on at halftime for that and pop in questions. Obviously, we're more Texas centered, but other people are going to jump in. So ask any questions, NFL, whatever. So definitely follow us at Touchdown Texas, and that's going to be our goal is 3 times a game, pregame, halftime, and postgame, every game.
I appreciate Nick holding it down for the first couple of weeks of the season with the TikTok lives. He's been absolutely killing it. And we're going to be more consistent with these podcasts now. And we're going to be here every week until the end of the season. So be sure to follow us. This is your place to be for the best Longhorns breakdowns and analysis. We hope everybody enjoyed the show. And we'll see you next episode. Thank you for watching.